If you're an independent auto or diesel repair shop owner and you're not getting enough quality applications, what's the first thing you should look at? The first thing you should look at is your ads. So today in Module 1, Lesson 1, we're going to go over how to create powerful ads that grab the attention of good techs and get them to apply. So what you'll learn in this module is why most ads for techs just plain suck, the real purpose of a help wanted ad, what you need to say to grab attention and keep it until action is taken. So by action, what I mean is they either contact you, email, phone, text, or even drop off an application at your shop in person, or they apply online. And then you'll learn the individual parts of a great ad that will attract great techs to your shop and how to create one of your own. So by the end of this module, you will have a creative, professional quality ad that's ready to post anywhere on or offline that speaks directly to technicians and invites them into a story about your shop where they are the hero. This ad will be unique, compelling, and it will stand out from your competition. This ad will also grab the attention of good technicians and hold it and motivate them to apply. I know it's a tall order, but stick with me. We're going to get through it, and that's what you'll have at the end of this module. So what you'll learn in this lesson, that's today's lesson, is why it's so hard to find techs and what to do about it. Why most ads for techs fail to get any response at all, and what is the real purpose of the help wanted ad, and the building blocks for a powerful, compelling ad that grabs attention and motivates techs to take action. So why is the ad so important? Well, the ad is the starting place. It's the highest leverage thing that you can do to find techs. So what do I mean by leverage? What I mean by leverage is if you could talk one-on-one to a bunch of A techs, I mean, that would be a high leverage activity. But what are the odds of you actually getting a whole bunch of appointments with very highly qualified technicians and being able to talk to them on a consistent basis? Well, one-on-one is where you really want to go. But if you want to leverage yourself and you want to get in front of more of those technicians, what you have to do is you have to leverage yourself by getting in front of more people overall. And when you get in front of more people, you have to have some sort of bait, if you will, to attract them and to entice them to come in and have a deeper conversation with you. And the highest leverage thing that you can do to find techs is to have an ad that's compelling. And we're going to talk about that today. So we all know how difficult it is to find technicians. But when you say it's difficult to find technicians, what do we really mean by that? Well, if you look at Indeed's hiring analytics, this is the Indeed Hiring Insights report, and I encourage everybody to go and take a look at this report. It's very interesting. You can look at all of the hiring statistics for any position within a 25-mile radius of your store. And what you can find out is you can find out a bunch of really good information. One of the things that you can see is that if you do a competition score, you can see on a scale of 1 to 100, diesel technician jobs in Davenport, Iowa are a 100. So that is the most competitive position that you can post on Indeed for that particular area. And many areas are similarly competitive. And then if you take a look on the other side of the page, what happens when you type in something like automotive technician or diesel technician? Well, if you haven't done this recently, type it in, find out what you get. If you type in automotive technician, I just typed this in for New Jersey, for Kenville, New Jersey, and this is page 1 of 380 jobs. And you can see the headlines, automotive technician. Automotive technician. Basically, if you go through all 380 of those jobs, you're going to see that most of them are exactly the same. They all say auto technician. There's nothing that distinguishes them. There's nothing that makes them stand out. You have the salary information in there, but a lot of the salary information is repetitive as well. So they're just bland. They all look the same. There's nothing to distinguish one from the other. And then if we look at the, in addition to the competition score, we also have some other things on this Hiring Insights report that are very interesting. You can see the total number of jobs that people clicked on for that particular job posting, for that particular title in the last month. So you can see that there's 719 jobs on Indeed's website. You can see the job seekers, 9,364. And the way that they determine job seekers is these are the people that clicked on those jobs. So what that amounts to is 13 people for every job. So you can take a look and you can see the competitiveness of the jobs, and you can get an overview of what you're looking at. So why are these job posts so bland and so boring? Because the reality of this is, what do techs really care about? What a technician cares about is they care about themselves. WIIFM. That's the radio station we all listen to. We all listen to What's in It for Me. And the thing that you'll see when you go through all of those ads is you'll see that it's always about them. It's about the shop. It's about what you are going to have to bring to the table. It's about being able to lift, 50 pounds or reach over your head. It's all these things that are qualifications of the position, but they're very bland when it comes to what's in it for the technician. What's in it for the technician if they are going to make the decision and take the risk of moving from one shop to another shop? What's in it for them? What is going to make their life better? And that's the thing that's missing from most of the ads that you see out there. And that's how you can distinguish yourself and make yourself stand out. So what's the real purpose of the help wanted ad? This is another place where a lot of our clients get stuck. And, you think that a lot of people are trying to do too many things on the ad. You're not really going to hire somebody off of an ad. What you're going to do is you're going to create a connection. You're going to get them to reach out, and you're going to get them to take action. So this is the only thing that you really want to do with an ad. This is the most important thing. So as you're thinking through the process, you want them to click. You want them to take action. And taking action can be one of many things. Taking action can be sending you an email. It can be calling you. It can be sending you a text message. It can be messaging you on a platform, social platform like Facebook. It can be clicking on the button so they can apply. So applying on Indeed or applying on whatever job board, or if you have an applicant tracking system, they can apply through there. That's the only purpose of the ad. You want to get them to take that next step to contact you or to apply. So it's no secret that there's a national shortage for technicians, but here's the real problem. And this is another place where we see people get stuck over and over again. So less than 5% of technicians at any given time are actively seeking work. That means if you post on a job board, you post on Indeed, or you post somewhere else like Craigslist, or you post like ZipRecruiter, what ends up happening is you're showing the ads to that 5% who are actually looking. It gets even worse, because what happens is when you start paying money to Indeed, you're paying hundreds or even sometimes thousands of dollars a month to Indeed. What ends up happening is now you're competing with everybody else in your area, the dealers, the national chains, all the rest of your independent colleagues and independent shops in the area. You're all fighting over that same 5%. So you're throwing money at Indeed, and they're showing you your ad to these same 5%. So you're fighting over them again and again. So you can see how there's diminishing returns. And I hear that all the time. It's like, Indeed keeps telling me to put more money in so that I can get more applications. And the more money we put in, we're experiencing diminishing returns. We're not getting as many more applications as we expected from all the additional money we're putting in. Well, now you know why. It's everybody fighting over that same 5%. So what's the next percentage? So 20 to 25% are happy where they are. They are going to retire from the shop that they're at, and they're not even going to consider your offer, no matter how sweet it is, or no matter how you get in front of them and how creative you are. So those are folks that you don't even want to bother with. But then there are 70, 75% who are open to new opportunities, but you have to get creative to find them and get them to respond, because they aren't scanning job boards every day, and they don't usually have up-to-date resumes, and they're already looking, so there's no urgency. So you have to really take the time to craft an offer, and you have to be clever about how you get in front of them. So here's a 3-step plan that we use at Technician Find. Number 1 is we make your shop stand out with unique and compelling message. So that's your ad. It has to be unique, it has to be compelling, and it has to draw technicians into the story. 2, you display that message in places where the right techs will see it and apply. That's the platform. Remember, you're not going to be fighting over that 5% with all the rest of the shops. You want to get more creative, and you want to do other things so that you can get in front of those technicians that are in the 70 to 75%. And then you need to follow up like a rock star until the toolbox is moved in. So that's the process. So here's the killer ad formula. This is the formula that helps us to generate hundreds and hundreds of applications every week for our clients. What we do is we start with a compelling and irresistible headline. That's the first thing that people are going to see. That's the first thing that is going to attract a technician and cause them to click that, and along with the image when we're using social media ads. A perfect intro or opening. So the reality of this whole situation is a technician, when they see your ad, is going to be skeptical. I mean, I've heard this over and over again when I talk to techs. They say, you know what, every shop says the same thing. They promise you the moon, and you never really know what you're getting into until you go into the shop and you start working. So when you get into your headline, there's going to be some skepticism. They'll click on the headline, they'll go into the ad, and then your intro, your opening has to draw them in. You have to explain that you understand the situation that they're in and that you're different. And that's what everybody is looking for. So looking for something that's different, something that's better, for a better opportunity. So how do you say that in the very beginning of your ad so they don't click off the ad? Because if it smells like another ad, like what they've seen before over and over again, boom, they'll click and they'll just leave. Their fingers are hovering on the back button, so to speak, and they will just click out and bounce out to another ad. The next thing is the magnetic middle. In the middle of your ad, that's where the real meat is. That's where you sell the dream. That's where you tell a compelling story about how their life will transform if they come to work in your shop. That's not where you talk about, you must do this, 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 and this. The job entails this, 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 and this. And we are great. We've been around since 1967. And, we have all these awards, and we're Better Business Bureau and blah, blah, blah. Techs don't care about that. It's important after they know what you're going to be able to do for them. So the magnetic middle is all about building a compelling story, selling the dream of your shop, and then inviting the technician into that story where they're the hero. So that's the important part about the magnetic middle. You have to keep their attention, entice them, and create that vision. That leads you up to the compelling close. So it's a compelling close. It's a call to action, because again, our main objective of the ad is to get them to take action and raise their hand, say that they're interested, and to communicate with you. So how do you do that in a way that completes this, the full circle, so that you hook them, get their attention, show them that you're different, create a new, unique opportunity, and then have them follow up by reaching out to you. And then the last part of a winning ad is hashtags and scannability. We place most of our ads on social media, online, and hashtags help in discoverability. It depends on which platform you use, how relevant hashtags are, but we do use hashtags and scannability. The reality of this is most people are looking on their phones. And actually, if you look at Indeed's hiring analytics reports, you can see how many people are accessing Indeed from their mobile phones. And in some areas, it's as high as 80% of the ads that are accessed on Indeed are done from a mobile phone. So you need to write an ad. You need to have all of these elements in the ad. But the reality is people aren't going to read the entire ad. Most people will not read the entire ad. Or if they do, they don't read the entire ad the first way through. What they'll do is they'll scan it. So you need to make sure that it's formatted for scanning. You need to make sure that the important points are bolded. The important points are in all caps. You need to make sure that there are bullet points. You need to make sure that it's scannable. And when people do go back through and reread, it's because their attention was piqued, because when they scanned through, some things stood out that were different. And then they'll get curious. And then when someone gets curious, then they'll take more time to go back and they'll read the entire thing. So it has to be scannable. That's going to really increase your response rates, to have it be scannable and have those relevant points be outlined. So here's another benefit of writing a good ad. So this is one of our clients, and he said, had a customer make an appointment after reading the employment ad on Facebook. He had used us in the past and said the tech ad was so well written that it reminded him how well we did for him on a vehicle he used to have. He's bringing his new car in. So when you write a really well-constructed ad and then you promote it to thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of people, people see it and people notice it, and it helps your brand. It helps your brand for your shop, and it also it helps you to reach a wider audience. It helps people who know technicians to forward the ad to them. So now you're not just trying to get in front of techs themselves. You can get in front of their spouses, you can get in front of their friends, you can get in front of their family members. And this happens all the time too, is they'll end up tagging a technician because they saw the ads. And it really is, when you have a well-constructed ad, it does wonders for the brand of your business. So the assignment for this lesson is creating your ideal scene. The ideal scene is the foundation where every good ad starts. And the way that you create your ideal scene is gather up your hats and position descriptions. Anything that you have that's written about this position, get it in front of you, and then schedule a time where you're going to sit down and you're going to review this information. Review old ads. A lot of the times, you've written ads way back in the past, and there have been a lot of really good things that you've put in those ads. It's always easier to sit down and start with something in your mind rather than sitting down and looking at a blank sheet of paper. Start with something that you've written in the past. You've probably got some gems, really good lines, good things about your shop, things that you've talked about in the past. So this can be printing off or having available ads that you have posted on Craigslist, ads that you posted in the newspaper, if you've done newspaper ads in the past, if you have done any type of social media ads or ads on job boards. You want to gather those all together so you're not starting from zero. The next thing to do is complete the repair shop hiring questionnaire. So that's the questionnaire that we use when we do onboarding calls. We have a long list of questions because being unique is it's not always about doing something that's just over the top. We all hear about shops that are doing things that are just wild and over the top and newsworthy and exciting. It's not always all about that. What it's about is it's about finding all of the things you do and how they combine together into your shop culture. So going through the repair shop hiring questionnaire, we ask you a bunch of questions so you can really start thinking about, oh yeah, I offer that. Yeah, I offer that too. Oh, I could offer that. That's a talking point. So when you go through that process, it kind of triggers your mind. And so it starts getting you thinking about, yes, these are the things that do make us different, or this combination of things makes us really different. And that's compelling. And you can use that in your ads. Sit down and whiteboard with your leadership team. If you have a leadership team, buy everybody lunch one day, sit around a table and have a whiteboard and just jot down what you think are compelling ideas, ideas about why your employees like working at your store, why, what you offer, what you could offer, what you've heard in the past from people who have worked for you, who really enjoyed working for you. Just whiteboard all these things. Just put bullet points down as quickly as you can. And then once you're done with that, take a picture of it with your phone, and then you can send it to whoever's going to end up writing the ad. If it's going to be you writing the ad, well, take a picture of it, and then you have it so that when you sit down and you have everything in front of you, you can refer back to that. And it's a lot of the time, it's easier if you're doing a brainstorming session with people that are, close to you, that are maybe your managers or, your service advisors or whomever is with you and helping you to run things. Your foreman, shop foreman are great to have on your leadership team. You get great ideas when you sit around and you start brainstorming and spitballing with other people, and just make sure that you capture it all at the time so that you're not trying to remember it. And there isn't anybody that's, you're not fiercely trying to take notes. You just appoint somebody to write on the whiteboard. Very effective strategy. And then get crystal clear on what you want, because here's the reality. The reality is you're going to find what you're looking for. And I hear this all the time. I get on a phone call with the shop owner, and I'll start talking about it. I'll say, well, what are you looking for? And they'll tell me, and they'll say, okay, so what type of personality traits, character, somebody that's team oriented or individual oriented or family oriented, or what is it? And they take the opposite end. So it's not coming from a place of this is what I want. It's coming from a place of, well, what I don't want, or hey, I had a guy that did this, and I definitely don't want that again. And when you come from that type of perspective and you come from that type of energy and personality, that's into what you end up attracting. So we don't want to go that direction. We want to go in the direction of, what is your perfect world? What is your ideal scene? In a perfect world, you're looking to add 5 locations. You're looking to have a specific type of person, because that's what it's going to take to fit into your culture and to fill all the positions at these 5 locations. This is what you want to be thinking about. And this is going to help to guide the entire narrative of when you start writing these ads, because in the next lessons, we're going to get down into the nuts and bolts of, okay, once you've done this foundation, you have the raw materials that you need. So now we can start writing things like your headlines, your intro, your, the benefits, all of these things. It'll become much, much easier. So in the next lesson, we're going to cover irresistible headlines. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about writing a headline and crafting headlines that technicians can't help but click.